Okay, so you're seeing the full slide?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. Okay, so just to start off, I want to say thank you for the invitation to speak today. Um, it's um, it's great to be included in this remarkable group of people, and I've learned so much um, from all the various perspectives that have been shared over this past few days. It's really incredible. Okay. So I'll talk a bit about my program at the California Department of Public Health. It was started it began established from the Safe Cosmetics Act in California that established the program at the State Department of Public Health. And this was a law that was sponsored by nonprofit organizations led by Janet's team at the Breast Cancer Prevention Partners. And these organizations were wanting change to happen in the industry. And so that was the beginning of the program in 2005. And it requires cosmetics companies to report to the state products with ingredients that are known or suspected carcinogens or developmental or reproductive toxicants as determined by authoritative scientific bodies. So it's important to point out too that we're not a regulating program. That is, we do not inspect, police, or ban products or ingredients. And so we don't regulate cosmetics, but we are a research and right to know program, consumer right to know. And it's our mandate to collect information and make it available to the public. So once again, the FDA's lack of authority. It's a common theme today, and I think it warrants restating again and again, because often when I'm talking to my friends and family about the work that I do with the state and bringing awareness to toxic ingredients in personal care products, every time someone will say back to me, well, why do you have to do that? Doesn't the FDA regulate cosmetics? And so it's a common misconception. And so once again, the FDA does not require safety testing for products before they go on the market. And you don't have to take it from me. You can go to their website. They'll be the first ones to acknowledge they have on their website, they specifically lay out the things that they can do, and then the longer list of things that they cannot do. And products can legally contain ingredients that may cause or contribute to cancer or reproductive or other harm. And another common theme today is that there's not complete ingredient disclosure on labels. For example, ingredients that are in fragrance or flavor components of cosmetics do not have to be identified on product labels. So if you want to avoid certain ingredients due to the potential health effects, or even because of an allergy, you don't have access to this information. And then further impetus for unique California legislation includes concerns about the personal care workforce, who, as you know, is at higher risk of exposure to toxic or hazardous chemicals. And professional use products have gone unlabeled for a very long time, although now in California now requires ingredient labeling for these products. So the Safe Cosmetics Act requires that companies must report ingredients that have been evaluated by these specific authoritative bodies. So we have the California Proposition 65 substances, which are carcinogens and developmental and reproductive toxicants, and the United States Environmental Protection Agency carcinogens, and IARC, or the International Agency for Research on Cancer carcinogens, and the US National Toxicology Program's Office of Health Assessment and Translation, Reproductive and Developmental Toxicants, and then finally NTP's report on carcinogens. And so we compile the chemical lists into our online reporting system, where companies then go into our system and submit their product information. And we maintain a database of this information that's searchable by the public. So fast forward to 2020, a new law was passed in California, thanks to those at this convening. The Cosmetic Fragrance and Flavor Right to Know Act, or CFRCA for short. And this legislation specifically addresses manufacturers' undisclosed formulas hidden from the public. Beginning this year, all cosmetics with fragrance and flavor ingredients on an expanded list of hazardous chemicals must be reported into our database. So now my program implements 2 laws, and there is a difference in the reportable ingredients between the 2 different laws. So all ingredients are subject to Safe Cosmetics Act reporting if they are on any of the original 5 designated lists. And now for CFRCA, the fragrance and flavor ingredients must be reported if they are on any of the same 5 lists or on any of an additional 18 lists. Getting more complicated. So this is another illustration of the 23 total designated lists of chemicals for reporting under CFRCA. And I won't go into all of them here, but I'll note that the new law includes ingredients linked to an expanded list of health effects. So not only chemicals linked to cancer and reproductive or developmental harm, but also including chemicals that can affect our hormone systems, our nerve systems, our respiratory systems, and allergens, and chemicals that can be harmful to the environment. So this is a screenshot of our public searchable database. And anyone can go onto this online website, use and search for their products and see if there's any hazardous ingredients that have been reported in those products. And the total products reported over the years now is over 100,000. And there has been 767 companies so far that have reported products, and 209 unique potentially hazardous ingredients have been reported. And I want to note here too that there is a varying level of concern about the various ingredients reported, and some are more hazardous. So for instance, I'd be more concerned with a product emitting formaldehyde gas that I could breathe in or absorb than I would be with a product containing titanium dioxide that was in solid form and not inhalable. And so we're working to continually add more educational content to our web pages on each ingredient as they are reported, so that this information can provide the most benefits in terms of informing consumer choice. And so I want to give you a snapshot of reporting under the new law, under CFRCA. And it commenced in January, and so far we've seen 106 newly reported ingredients. And that about doubled the number of ingredients reported prior to CFRCA. So our data is becoming a lot more interesting than it used to be. These are some of the most frequently reported ingredients so far. Fragrance allergens are the most commonly reported ingredients, and these are ingredients such as linalool, geraniol, or eugenol that you sometimes see on labels, but usually not. But lilial is a reproductive toxicant that was recently banned in the European Union, and there are over 1,200 products reported so far containing lilial. And as a group, glycol ethers, which are respiratory toxicants, have been reported in over 700 products so far. Cyclosiloxanes, phthalates, and parabens which we saw frequently in the Capable study, by the way, that was described by April and Caroline earlier, are also, these chemicals are also some of the top ingredients now being reported under the new law, with growing numbers being seen there as well. And so to anyone who's interested in the phthalates that we're looking at here are diethyl phthalate and dimethyl phthalate. And the parabens are propyl, methyl, butyl, and ethyl parabens, in case you were interested in that. Okay, another thing I want to highlight is one of the new data fields in our reporting system that companies are also now required to answer under CFRCA. They have to indicate if the product is general retail or professional use. And that was something that was also mandated in the new law. There are about 22,000 products now with this information reported. That's the circle, the pie graph. The whole graph represents about 22,000 products. And of those, 8% of them have been reported as professional use only. And so the table here shows a breakdown of the numbers of products this represents in each of these categories. So for hair coloring products, that was the top category for the professional use products. There's 835 hair coloring products in there. And then you see the numbers for the other types of products that were, again, reported as professional use only. And of course, professionals may also use any product, and not only one sold as professional use only, but this is something that we will be keeping our eye on as these numbers grow to see if there are certain ingredients that show up more in professional products.
Thank you, Paula. Just want to give you the 2-minute warning.
No problem. Thanks. Okay, so for specific ingredients, these are again the professional products as reported by companies. These are the 10 most frequently reported ingredients in professional use only. Most of these are fragrance allergens, which may only pose a risk for people with fragrance allergies. But as Janet talked about earlier this morning, that could be a life and death situation for some people with allergies. Lilial made the list for the top 10. That's the reproductive toxicant banned in the EU. And then beta-myrcene is a possible carcinogen. And so in wrapping up, finally, I'd just like to invite everyone here to provide any feedback on what you find when you're looking at our database, and any input on what you'd like to see in our next data report as we continue to summarize this data. And with that, I will end here. This is the link to our program website and a link to sign up for our mailing list and my email for any follow-up after this conference. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Paula. Really interesting information, especially some of that last analysis of what's being reported to the database under the fragrance and flavors requirements.